It's always hard trying to start recording a video because I don't really know what to do for an intro. I guess that'll be the intro. So the Lexus is currently sitting at around 205,000 miles, which is an amazing achievement for me, partially, because I had a Civic, my first car, that hit around 200,000 miles. And that was pretty awesome for me, but it's pretty normal when it comes to Hondas and Toyotas. But in order for these cars to go to those high miles, there is one thing that you must do in order to keep the miles going, and that is maintenance. Maintenance is one of the main things that most people have to consider when owning a vehicle. And it's one of the best ways to not spend a crap load of money. Because if you neglect maintenance, a lot of things are going to go wrong. So in this video, we are doing a massive maintenance overhaul on this car, because when I first bought it, there was no paperwork whatsoever on whether or not, the timing belt was done, or like the transmission fluid was changed, or the diff was changed, or brakes were done, or whatever. I did look over it and I thought it was pretty okay. And from the start intro video, it sounds like my belt's squealing, so I'm gonna have to figure that out as well, which I didn't notice until I brought it in, so that kind of sucks. But I got everything that I need that is very overwhelming, I would say. A belt or a tensioner or a pulley or whatever, that's minimal. I can do that in 5 minutes or whatever. I can do that on my own. It's not very entertaining. But a maintenance overhaul, I think, would be very entertaining for you guys, because I'm going through everything. Now, the things that I'm going to be going over are the cabin air filter, the engine air filter, the brakes, front and rear pads. I think the rotors are good. I'll double check those. The rear diff fluid, the transmission fluid, and the engine oil. About 6 things I think that I have to do, and I'm going to squeeze it all into a 19-minute video, hopefully, for you guys. So I guess without further ado, I have relatively a decent amount of daylight left. So let's get cracking and see how well I can get this done. But first, of course, I'm gonna need an outfit change, because I don't want to ruin this amazing fur-covered Limitless hoodie from limitless-apparel.co. And you can get yours by hitting the link in the description. Now let's get changed. That's better. Now, let's get cracking into this motor. Doesn't look very good. That came out of the coolant system. So if you too have the mind of a goldfish, yeah, I got that out. The best way to not forget the belt layout is to draw it out, like I did here, because I tend to forget very easily, especially when you get to the finishing part of it, which is when you put that back on. By the time you do that, you can't really remember all that well. So there's a little trick that I learned. You write it down, you put it aside, and you're good to go. Or you can write it on your car, whatever works for you, but I just don't want to write on my car right now. Oh, I guess I didn't have to do it. I just... Sometimes manufacturers put the belt layout already on the car, and I'm stupid and wasted a whole bunch of time. Not really, like 2 minutes, trying to get that layout figured out, and it's right here. So yeah, whatever, I'm gonna keep it anyway. Alrighty, now that this is all put back together, now it's time to refill the coolant. And then after that, it's on to the brakes. Gotta put that back in there. Alrighty, but yeah, so the timing belt went pretty good. I ran it off camera and it runs perfect, just like it pulled in. But I want to show you guys this thing. I ended up buying this thing about 4 years ago, I believe. And The reason I bought this was because in the trucking field of mechanics, when you do anything related to coolant, the reservoir is always like up here on the truck, and so it's like you had to basically climb on the tire and refill it with like a, well, from what we used was like a gardening trough thing, you know. So it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and every time that we would do that, even if we reused the coolant, we would basically have to dump the coolant, which is a lot, back into that watering can, and then we would have to go up, pour it in, and then once we were done with that, we would have to bring it outside, let it run for like a good half hour to let the air pockets or air bubbles or whatever come out. But there is a way to get rid of about, I don't know, I'm gonna say like an hour and a half worth of work, and that's this. This is a coolant refilling tool from Snap-on. Now I know Harbor Freight has it, but this was what was on the truck when I was working there at the time, so I just ended up picking this up. I bought it used, so don't come at me. But essentially what this does is air passes through here, comes out here, and pulls air from the system out with it, pulls a vacuum, and then you shut off this valve, you open this valve, and whatever pressure or vacuum that is in the system will draw out of that back into the system. And the awesome thing about it is that you won't have any air pockets because it's sucked out all the air, you know? Another good thing about it, well, at least for when I was working on trucks and stuff, was you didn't have to climb up and down, up and down, up and down on the tires just to refill it. So, oh, and there's another thing. When you turn this on, if it doesn't go up to a certain like vacuum and it doesn't hold the vacuum, that means you have a leak somewhere in the system, which is amazing because when you put all this stuff together, you just hope, and then you basically have to pressure test the system, but this is like 3-in-1, you know? So that's why I picked it up, and I've used it so many times and it's been so helpful, and every single truck that I've ever worked on has never come back with a coolant leak after the job was done. So it's paid for itself probably 15 times over, you know? But I kept it, even though I'm not really doing any coolant systems and anything like that for trucks, but it's still something good to have, case in point. What up, honey? Well, say hi to YouTube.
Right here. To YouTube?
Yeah, say hi to YouTube.
I tube you.
You want to know the crazy part? I thought I was recording that entire time, but turns out the phone storage was full. Love you, Apple. So me refilling the diff and also changing the brakes on the passenger side, non-existent anymore. So awesome. Offloaded the video that I just recorded. I don't even know how many times I've done this just to make sure that this didn't happen, and it still happened. So now we're just down to one side of the brakes and the cabin air filter. So as much as it sucks, whatever, I can't really be too upset about it. So let's get into the brakes and the cabin air filter. I just want to say that these little brake pads are the cutest freaking thing I've ever seen. I don't even think that these could stop a golf cart, let alone my car. It's a good thing there's bigger front brakes on there. Those ones are pretty hefty, but this is adorable. Look at that. Well, okay, so that's that done. Brakes are done. Now cabin air filter, which should be fairly easy. Some of them are difficult, some of them aren't, but it's usually behind the glove box. I don't even remember if I had actually replaced these or not, but yeah, I guess we'll see where it is. Should be this one right here. Now this one says it's coconut flavored, so let's try it out, shall we? It does not smell like coconut. Disappointed. That's what I am. Disappointed. And just like that, done. Now I have to go through the long and boring process of cleaning everything up, putting the car down, you know, just doing all the boring stuff that nobody wants to do. But I'm not going to bore you guys with that. I just want to say thank you for those of you that stuck around to the end of the video. I do appreciate it. And if you are new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I usually post once a month. Last month I didn't. I had a lot of stuff going on, so I wasn't able to. But yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking around. So if you guys could subscribe, like, and comment down below. Maybe tell me how proud you are, or that I'm doing a good job, or whatever, you know, or that you're looking forward to all the car shows this year, and which car shows you guys are going to, you know. But I do appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.